to it.
She might not have told you this, but my daughters do not respect men. So I'm letting you know that now, and I'm not joking when I tell you that.
Biggest supporters. Like, biggest supporters.
I asked her to repeat herself.
This ain't a rap song, it's Red Pill Rage. This ain't a rap song.
You're making it seem like we're leveling up. You're making it seem like we're leveling up. We're bossing up and they're intimidating.
There used to be a time that fairy tales were true. Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notifications button so you can get the videos as soon as I put them out. If you're looking for the music to the intro and you want the link to the second channel, both are below in the description. But can you do me a favor, hit the notifications button right now. All right, guys, I got about 4 videos for you. Today is going to be the first video. We have an art teacher who will be responding to people who gave her backlash because of her photos online. And if you guys haven't seen the photos online, she has posted some photos, has been an art teacher that a lot of people were not happy with. And what she's going to be doing is she is going to be responding to the photos of the backlash that she's been getting. The next video is going to be a young lady that says she goes on a trip to Mexico and she comes home from Mexico and she finds a little surprise about a sibling that she's going to have, and she's going to be breaking down the story of that and her new sibling. The next video is going to be a father breaking down to his daughter's boyfriend what to be prepared for whenever he's dating their daughter, and best believe this is one that a lot of you guys better prepare for, because you have some fathers out there that do know what's happening in society. The last video is going to be a woman. She's going to be breaking down why women want a father figure whenever it comes to dating a man nowadays, because a lot of these girls have gotten out of line. But for the first video, before we get to this first video with this art teacher, first thing that I want to do is I want to give a shout out to my dog. I had to bury my dog yesterday. He was 14 years old. As a man that do not have any children at all, I can honestly say that this dog was my child, and it really hurt for me to lose him. So I just want to go ahead and give him a shout out, because in the first 2 years of my videos, when I used to walk around giving my little lectures, you guys know my dogs were in every video. Well, one of those dogs are gone now. So rest in peace to Blue. All right, first video is going to be the lady responding to the photos that you just seen of her. Let's get to it.
Just sitting in my classroom. The mothers, okay, at my school, at my specific school, meaning the one that I am an actual teacher at, some of those mothers are legit my biggest supporters. Like, biggest supporters. You understand me? I gotta say this again. The mothers from the county and community for the school that I work for are some of my biggest supporters, okay?
Of course, women are going to always back up other women. We already know that, all right? Especially when you're dealing with other single mothers. But at the end of the day, let's look at these photos here. I really don't think that it's that bad until we start getting around here. Maybe that's not that bad, but at the same time, it's kind of like, you know, somebody's taking pictures of you. You know that that's what's happening. You know that someone is taking pictures of you, and it always seems that teachers feel like they need to dress like this around students. That's what everyone is looking at. We're looking at it like, why are you dressed this provocative around students? Even though these are kindergarten kids that do not know what's going on, at some point they do know someone in that school is looking. They even have this little girl's face blocked out who was looking at her as well. So in my opinion, yes, that lady is trying to get attention.
Majority, not all, majority of the people that I see defending me on comments are women. Believe it or not, a lot of women got my back.
Women are going to have your back.
say people are just hating. You know, not. Guys, it's not majority women. It's really not. It's not. It is not. Isn't that crazy? You would think so, right? No. No. I have seen some men say some crazy stuff, and I'm just like, and not like the nasty pervy stuff. I'm talking about some crazy, mean, disrespectful, wild things. Like, bro, I'm a teacher. What are you doing? I teach babies. No kid is sitting in my classroom thinking that stuff.
She's right about that.
Like, what are you talking about? Oh my gosh. I'm so overwhelmed with the positivity that is coming out of all this nonsense that I cannot be upset. I can't be sad, y'all, because my life is going so good and life is good. And
okay, I understand where she's coming from. What she's saying is, and I'm going to go back to what Lauryn Hill has said before, no one really knows they're doing wrong as long as there's someone around to applaud. As long as there's someone around to congratulate what she's doing, she won't realize what she's doing wrong. In my opinion, there's just too many teachers that dress like this nowadays. She's right. The students in class are not really looking at her thinking that. But the guys that are walking around, the other teachers in the school, the janitor, the basketball coach, all of those people that see her as colleagues, those are the ones, the males, that are going to have the problem. And the average male is going to have a problem because they feel like if you're a teacher, you should not be in the classroom looking like you're going to the club. That's just real talk. Next video, we got a woman who goes on vacation to Mexico and come home to this.
I found out my mom was pregnant with my boyfriend's baby.
So it all started while I was on a girls' trip in Mexico. Roe versus Wade just got overturned that morning, and I was calling all of the women in my life just to see how they were, to check on them. And when I got to my mom, she was obviously distraught, crying. I didn't think anything of it because...
Isn't it weird sometimes when you see thick, dark-skinned women talk like white women? Like, don't it seems like it's an act, like it just doesn't fit your personality? Especially as a black man, behind the scenes, we know, like, you act like this on TV, but then your attitude is nasty behind the scenes.
She's a woman, raising a woman in America, and she knows multiple other women who would be affected by this. So I talked to her, we ended the call, went back to my trip. 2 days later, I called my mom just to check on her, and she's still audibly, like, distraught. You could tell she'd been crying, and I was asking her what was going on, and she wasn't telling me, and I was telling her, I was like, hey, tell me what's going on, or I'm gonna get on a flight and come back and figure out what's going on myself. And ultimately, she ended up just telling me, after a few minutes, she was like, I'm pregnant. Now, when she told me that, I didn't think much of it. I was just really happy, really excited, because I never thought that I would have a younger sibling. So I was just congratulating her. You know, I was just ranting, talking about next steps, like, oh my God, like, did you set up the first ultrasound? Like, how are you feeling? Blah, 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 making funny jokes, talking about names. And then she cuts me off and she was like, but it's Bi. We're gonna call him John. John being my ex, my boyfriend at the time, I should say. I asked her to repeat herself because, keep in mind, I'm a little bit drunk. I'm in Mexico, come on. I asked her to repeat herself. I was like, what? And then she says, it's by John.
All right, I'm gonna stop there. I personally think that the story is all cap, and the reason why is because she's trying her hardest to sound like a white woman. That's simple. You're even telling the story as if it's a white woman's story. A black woman's not going to tell that story like that. And a lot of you black dudes out there and black women know a black woman is not going to still tell a story like that calm. It's just not going to work. So the moral of the story here is you do have situations like this that happen, but I do think that this specifically situation is not real. I'm sorry. It's not real. The presentation of it's not real. The tone's not real. Nothing's real. But do you have mothers that will go out and do this? Yes, but they're going to be bottom feeders. You see a lot of bottom feeder mothers doing this with their daughters, and the daughters do it as well. The moral of the story here is don't get out here doing too much clout chasing. But when it comes to women, women will portray each other faster. Next, we got a father that's going to be breaking down to his daughter's boyfriend what to expect dating his daughter. Let's get to it.
She might not have told you this, but my daughters do not respect men. So I'm letting you know that now, and I'm not joking when I tell you that. And they have mouths when it comes to them getting into disagreements and engagements with men, and they will verbally put some lashings on you, brother, because they don't respect men. I'm just giving it to you forefront, brother, right, so you know what you're going in. She might not have told you this, but my daughter...
All right, the father's keeping it real. He's talking to the boyfriend. He's telling her, like, listen, my daughters do not respect men. They're going to run their mouth. All right? One thing that I've noticed, especially about B-dubs, and that means black women, your mother teach you to be this way. And I've always said this in the black community, is that the mothers teach their daughters to not respect men before the daughters know what a man is. Little black girl's gonna know I don't need a man before she knows what a relationship is and where babies come from. A black male is gonna know I need to worship women before he knows what a relationship is. So if you ask me, the men are actually programmed to being servants, while the women are programmed to being the king and queens that treat them like servants. So it's pretty much a situation where it's impossible for the relationship to last because it's based off of narcissism. All right, next video we got, so woman's gonna be breaking down relationships nowadays. Let's get to it.
I just think it's funny how the tables have turned. It used to be men with such high standards of what they...
What standards? What standards are men hurt by? Y'all don't want men. Y'all don't want guys. Y'all want play toys. Y'all want shit to play with on your time. Y'all want a machine that works for you. Y'all want a father figure, someone who takes care of all your shit so that you don't have responsibility, so that you don't take accountability, so that you don't have to grow up. You don't want a relationship, nor do you want a man. You want to be worshipped 24/7. You want to take and not give anything. That's what guys are upset about. The fact that a lot of us just want to use them. Play with their emotions, treat them like fucking pawns. Only be with them if they can give you some material shit. You're making it seem like we're leveling up. You're making it seem like we're leveling up. We're bossing up and they're intimidated by it. Some guys are, but most of them, they're not intimidated by shit. They're annoyed.
And she's absolutely right. That's what women need to understand. Like, they're annoyed by you because it's not matching. We can see your brainwash. And most of it comes from other women and it comes from agendas. If you ask me, Generation Z, you are set up to fail. These young women right here, they don't know what's going on in life. They're watching too much of P-Hub. The guys are watching too much of P-Hub. And it's in a situation where everyone's blaming each other. Who's gonna get along? Who's not? Whose fault is it? Who's not? It's simple as this. If you and her cannot get on the same page, it's not going to work. And if a woman is programmed not to get on the same page, she's going to be lonely as well as the men. You have to realize all of this has been psychologically programmed for population control. This is Anthony Spade. Hopefully you guys are able to get the message behind the videos. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Hasta la vista.